So hi everybody, this is my OverBall series. This is a series I really like to teach in my mat classes, using the overballs to give more mobility to the spine, to the body. Also teaching low abdominal connection. So I've got two overballs. I've got one about half blown up, and this one's almost full. You can adjust the ball as you go along. At any time you want to stop, please do so. Do this video with me. It's sort of one that you can do with me, but if you want to repeat the exercises, just stop the video and then continue to make more repetitions and then come back. First sequence I'm teaching is with the ball behind the back of the head. So it's behind the cranium ridge. So I just call this the Crano sequence. So I'm starting off with my thin, smaller ball. I want the ball inflated, so roughly the forehead and chin's level. I'm just going to do some small movements with the neck and head. So I'm just simply turning on the out breath and turning to the other side. This sequence doesn't have to be timed to the breathing at all, it's just what feels right. I'm just allowing my neck to get some movement in a very supported position. So with the head very supported, the smaller control mechanisms of the neck gets to work, and some of the big muscles that might be feeling a little bit strained can get to turn off. So I've just got rotations from side to side. I'm now going to draw a circle on the ceiling with my nose. So I'm just going to do a little circle, probably doing each movement about 6 to 8 times, and go reverse direction. Just letting some movement happen in the back of my neck, the top of the spine. Now I'm going to take the ball to underneath the neck. My last series is just the tilts, so I'm tilting the head backwards and forwards. Really feel the chin draw into the throat to give you length in the back of the neck. And so with the ball now underneath the neck, it really gives me some more support. And I can really feel that I'm actually lengthening the spine, tummy's reacting, because of the way I'm getting lots of length through the back of the neck and finding that space and length in the spine. So that's the Crano sequence. You can either stop and repeat or continue with me onto the next sequence, which is the Sacro sequence. So the sacrum sequence is with the ball underneath your sacrum. I'm going to use a thinner cushion underneath my head. And I'm going to place the ball underneath my pelvis. So finding the ball roughly in the middle of the pelvis. Just bounce a little bit to find where you are. Then I'm going to keep my hands on my hips because it gives me feedback. Feet and knees are about hands width apart, feet are nice and relaxed. My first movement pattern is to glide my hips from side to side, so shifting. Trying to feel like I'm shifting in a very straight line, so I'm not dipping. I'm not swinging up. I want to sort of move across side to side like a typewriter. Maybe even using their fingers to help point the direction I want to move in. Second sequence is rotation. Getting the hands on the hips to give you some feedback. I'm rotating. So it's almost like if I was holding a steering wheel, I'm turning that steering wheel. Try and make sure it's not a rocking boat, so don't swing from side to side. Get a very centralized rotation. One hip comes up, other hip under, swap over, this hip up, my other hip going under. It's a feeling of lengthening the back of the legs as you do this as well, even the knees moving away from you. Next moving pattern is the tilts. I'm just going to tilt gently backwards and forwards. So I'm getting some movement at my pelvis and lumbar, maybe a little bit of movement in the upper back as well. Doesn't have to be a big range of movement, but really feel how you control the movement from the centre of the body. Try and feel that the legs are quiet in this, so it's not the legs pushing you everywhere. It's a feeling of moving the ball from the back of the body. Now I'm going to go move the ball underneath my waistband. Now this position doesn't suit everybody, so if you don't like it, maybe move the ball down a little bit or miss it out. And I'm going to go back to my side shifts from side to side. Getting some nice little massage in the low back as we get these moving patterns happening. Now I'm going to come to my rotations. Again, that feels nice with the ball underneath the lumbar spine, giving some support and giving some feedback on the movement. Again, letting my lower back become juicy, letting the movements happen in all the spine. Next movement pattern, we're coming back to the tilts. This is where you might find it's discomfort. Just move in a range that feels right for you. If it feels a little bit uncomfortable, again, maybe just limit the movement. But this is a nice place to get some extension. And I'm going to just go change the ball so it's a little bit closer to my shoulders, and that allows me to get that big arch of extension and then come into flexion. So it allows my low back to find some movement and support it. Again, if you're new to this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but after a few you might find that the body responds differently and it starts to feel a little bit more comfortable. Again, limiting the range of movement can give you more comfort here. So this is our pelvic tilts with the ball underneath the lumbar spine. So I've done middle, high, and I'm going to take the ball down to the other end of the spine towards my tailbone. I'm almost coming off the ball here. As you can see, my lower back's going to sink a little bit down to the mat. Again, thumbs on the hip bones, I'm going to glide from side to side. Range of movement is always going to feel different on each exercise depending where the ball is. I've got this nice movement pattern in the low back. I'm going to come into my rotation, the second movement pattern. Again, just feels different because we're in a different position. I'm not doing too many of these. And now I'm going to come into my tilts. And this is where I'm interested in the tilt with the ball very low. And I'm going to do my pelvic tilting. And this is a nice place to start to feel how the low abdominals work. So as you breathe out, push the ball away, feel the tummy draw in. As you breathe in, pull the ball back towards you. Out breath, push the ball away. In breath, pull the ball to you. Out breath, push away, feel the tummy draw in. Feet staying fairly steady, feet staying light. So again, get the feel that you're moving the ball with the body, not so much from the legs. I'm just going to just change that slightly. Again, don't be afraid to just try out different positions. That feels better for me. So I've got mobility now in the low back. I'm going to work for the shoulders and arms. Again, do stop the video to repeat those sequences. Find the ones that work for you. We can move into our next sequence, which is about the breath and the arms. But it's about the rib cage changing position, which changes the way your body works. We're going to start off with the arms down by the sides. Really just reach the fingertips towards your toes and then spiral from your armpits. Thumbs are pointing to the ceiling. As you breathe in, float the arms up. Spiral out from the armpits and out breath, lower the arms down. In breath up. Out breath. Just let the breath move you. Keep pushing the ball away to find length in the lower back. We're going to go into some splits now. In breath, the arms come up. Just pause a second, turn the arms so the thumbs pointing to each other. And as you breathe in, one goes forward, the other goes back. As you breathe out, draw your tummy in to pull the arms back to centre. In breath, one forward, one back. As you breathe out, draw in to centre. Let the breath do the work. Bring both hands down to the floor. Again, roll your shoulders away from the ears. Spiral the arms so the thumbs point to the ceiling. In breath, you use the float. As you breathe out, make a big circle. Fingertips touch each other. As you breathe in now, elbows towards the floor. As you breathe out, fingertips touch. Breathing in, chest opens. As you breathe out, pull the tummy in. Find that connection. Feel the back of the shoulder blades move to each other. And as you breathe out, feel them widen. Feel how you're moving from the back of the body. Bring the fingernails to touch the knuckles and the back of the wrists maybe. Fingertips come down to your breastbone. Sternum drop breath. Take your breath in. And as you breathe out, feel the breastbone sink. Feel more of your ribs settle onto the mat. That's the breath and arms sequence. Now that sequence now sets us up for our low abdominal stability work. Now this sequence is all about just connecting our breath and the organisation of the low abdominals to stop the pelvis and spine moving on the ball. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, let your chest sink. Feel the tummy scoop. Bring one leg up. Now keep pushing the ball away and keep feeling that your lungs are heavy. Keep lengthening the spine, pushing that ball. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, soften the chest, draw the tummy in, then bring the leg up. And hopefully you did that without the belly pushing to the ceiling. Hands on the end of the thighs now. Now feel the knees come back towards you, toes coming back towards you, but press back a little bit with the arms. Not too strong, but just find that connection. Focus on your breath. Breath in. As you breathe out, chest softens, ribs soften, tummy pulls in. Breath in. Out breath. At the end range of every out breath, feel how your tummy pulls in tighter. Get that connection. Changing the hands to the outside of the knees now. Knees are trying to open wide, hands are pushing back. Breath in, out breath, chest, tummy, deeper abdominals. Cross the hands over now, thumbs to the ceiling, hands on the inside of the knees. Feel your hands and legs have a little wrestling match. Take your breath in and out breath. Find that deep abdominal scoop. Lastly, we take the hands to the back of the knees. Feel the toes and knees trying to move away from you. Draw back with the arms, but keep the shoulders soft and down. And as you breathe out, tummy scoops. Keep that resting match between the arms and the legs. Notice my low back is just sunken to the floor. Next sequence is to use what we've learned to control. So we're going to go into our femur arcs. To do this, I'm going to place my right hand on my left knee. Keep the connection between the left knee and the right arm to tell you that your tummy is staying scooped in. I'm just going to move my arms out to the side. Breath in. As I breathe out, chest softens, tummy scoops. And then the toe taps. Breathing in, out breath. Last one. I'm just going to do 3. I'm going to swap to the other side. Find that connection. Take your breath in with me. And out breath. Breathing in. Out breath. Scooping. Come back in. And out breath. Scoop back in. I'm swapping over, but I'm going to do a heel drop now. Now you can either go back to the toe tap or the heel drop. Breath in, out breath, scoop, in breath. On the heel drop, the leg just travels further out. I'm coming back in. I'm going to swap sides again. So I've just done 3, I'm going to do 3 heel drops on the other side, breath in to prepare, out breath, out breath, breathing in and breathing out. I'm swapping over my last series. Now the last series is a single leg stretch. If you feel that you're not controlling the ribs, controlling the tummy, go back to even the previous exercises. I'm going to do 6 on each leg. Hand across, find my connection, breath in, out breath. Find your stability. Swapping over to the other side, hand on the knee, find that connection, find your breath in with me to prepare, and out breath. Keep the scoop. Now that sequence has been all about finding stability in the lower abdominals. Next sequence is about using the lower abdominals to find movement. So I'm going to allow the ball to move, I'm going to allow the pelvis to move. It's my double toe drop or double toe tap femur arcs. So I'm going breath in, out breath. Very long out breath, so pull back in. Short breath in, long out breath. Let the ball move. Feel the spine lengthen as you bring the knees back to you. So we're moving the legs from the low abdominals. Option, bring the ball a little bit more into the centre, so I'm back underneath the pelvis. I'm going to bring one leg up, I'm going to bring my second leg up, breath to prepare, and I'm going to take the ball away. I'm just going to stay here a little bit. Gives you a chance to, if you want to, just change the video, go back to one of the previous exercises. But I'm just also just allowing my body to feel the difference. I'm allowing to feel the space across the back of my pelvis. I'm allowing myself to feel my ribs, my chest, my back, the body after just doing that sequence. Next sequence is all about moving the spine a little bit more. I'm going to start off the ball underneath the chest. So the ball is going to come underneath my sternum. This is the sternum rock sequence. So hands make on top of each other, so I'm making diamond shape with my arms, head resting on my forehead. I take a breath in and I breathe out. Just letting the breath give movement to the rib cage. Breathing in and breathing out. It's also giving me movement in my low spine. And now I'm going to go for my diamond float. So I'm going to take a breath in. And as I breathe out, I'm going to push the ball forwards, float the hands and elbows in-breath, come back down. As I breathe out, push the breastbone forward to find length, and in-breath back down. Keeping your eyebrows connected to your hands. Now this is all about length then height at the moment. And as I breathe out, I'm really thinking about growing the spine. I'm thinking about the spine growing out of my pelvis. That's that feeling of pushing the ball forwards to find the length. So that's my first phase of the sternum rocks. Hands under, just press yourself up. Now my next sequence is the thoracic opening sequence. And this is, I'm going to need a little bit more pillows. I need the pillows to counteract the space between my thorax, ribcage and the mat. Now this exercise doesn't suit everybody. When I do this work, sometimes the lower back comes into a lot of excessive extension, which places pressure in the back. So there's an alternative sequence seated on my videos. So have a look at the seated thoracic sequence. Otherwise, come down to the mat, ball underneath the pelvis. Got that wrong, didn't I? The ball goes underneath the thoracic ribcage. That makes sense. That feels nice as the pillow. Okay, so that's better. Again, the ball can change its position depending on how we're doing. Interlace the fingers, hands behind the head. Just breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in to open up the chest, push into the ball, and breathing out. Notice your shoulder blades. Breathing in, shoulder blades move to each other. Breathing out, elbows towards each other. Breathing in, shoulder blades connect towards each other. And as you breathe out, let them widen. Feel how, although your elbows are moving through the room, it's your shoulder blades that gets this movement going. Good. Now we're going to come into our double arm circle, leading with the thumbs. Got that wrong. I should have got it into thoracic sit-ups. So I'm doing an assisted sit-up. So my elbows now are just pointing to the ceiling. Not too low, not too high. Small movement. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push the ball away from your pelvis to float to look to your knees. In-breath coming back down. Now think more about move the ball by pushing it away from your pelvis to rock your body. Head and hand is light. I'm not thinking about the head. I'm thinking move the ball and my head will move. You can try with a finger on your chin, a thumb on your breastbone, and just find that rocking movement. So there's not much movement of the head on the neck. It's just move the thoracic rib cage and the head will move. A couple more of these assisted sit-ups. Lengthen, scoop. Head down, just feel comfortable, forehead and chin roughly level, hands down by your sides, arm circles. Breathing in, and then breathing out, reach behind you, great big circles, sweep the little fingers back down to your thighs, then turn your arms, thumbs point to the ceiling, breathing in, long out breath. Breathing in, long out breath. Feel the shoulder blades move around in the back of the ribcage. Now, if there's any clunking and clicking, maybe make the circles smaller. Don't have to get close to the floor. You might want to go a little bit quicker than me. You might want to go a little bit slower. It's okay, find the speed that suits you. I'm always breathing in through the nose and then softly breathing the breath out of the mouth. That gives the timing correct, and that gives us the feeling that when we breathe out through the mouth, the lower abdominals get to be used. I'm now going to reverse the arm circle. Breathing in out to T-shape, breathing out, arms to the wall behind me, up to the ceiling, hands back down to the floor. Feel those shoulder blades move around you, feel the armpits bouncing, the front of the armpits, the chest muscle, the back of the armpits, the back muscles. Let them move around as you do these arm circles. We're going to take this into assisted sit-ups now. So from here, as you breathe out, curl up. Again, use that ball. Head comes down onto the pillows, arms open out to the side. And as you breathe out, curling up, my low back is moving towards the mat. And as I breathe in, put the head back on the cushion, the low back just lifts off a little bit. But I'm focusing on moving that ball. It's the movement of the ball that helps me do everything. Again, test where your ball is. Does the ball need to be closer to your head? Does the ball need to be closer to your hips? You might need to change it for each exercise. I'm going to finish with my arms to the ceiling and go cross them over each other. I'm going to add a little bit of rotation now. So I'm going to take a breath in. And as I breathe out, go curl up and go towards my right knee. In breath, I come back to the ceiling. Out breath, curling up, pushing the ball away from my hips to the left knee. In breath back. Now, try to make sure it's just not the arms, but turn your chest, turn your gaze to these. So I had a beam of light coming out my breastbone. That beam of light is pointing towards the knee. The two hands, one knee. Last time to the right. And last time coming up to my left. Again, gives me lots of mobility in the rib cage, finding those low abdominals. Now the next sequence is the side lying sequence. Doesn't suit everybody. So again, miss this sequence out, and again if you want to stop the video and repeat that whole sequence we did earlier. So I'm going to work now without the cushions. I'm going to be lying on my side with the ball underneath my rib cage. So it's sort of again level with my heart. Legs, front knees forward, bottom leg, the heels backwards, top leg out in a straight line so it crosses over my shin so it looks like a figure four from above. Just let the head rest down. If you wish to, you can put a cushion between your ear and your arm. Notice this arm, the palms facing up. Turn this hand, lead on the in-breath, thumb comes over, fingertip touches, thumb touches the wrist. As you breathe out, hand comes back down to the thigh. Breathe in, reach, out breath. So just side-lying arm openings. Just organising the breath. And just finding that stretch from hand and foot. So you can see I just moved my leg a little bit, just reaching through fingertips and foot. I'm going to take this into assisted sit-up now. So I'm going to take the cushion away. And now I'm going to go in-breath over. Doesn't have to be big. Out-breath. Use the body. In-breath. Again, I'm using the ball to help me find that movement pattern. Reaching to my knee. In-breath, thumb to the wrist. Out breath, lengthening to come up. I'm going to do a couple more of these side assisted sit-ups. Good. Now rest here. We'll come with the next version, which is half lizard. So in breath I go over, out breath elbow to knee, in breath reach out breath. Good, so we're going to repeat that on the other side. So I'm just coming up, I'm just going to quickly spin my legs around. I'm going to grab my pillow as I do this sequence as well though. Again, lying down, ball roughly underneath the heart on the side of your ribs. Bottom arm out in a straight line. Bottom leg, knee forward, ankle backwards. Top leg in a straight line. Cushion between. Here we go. Now, breathing in. Breathing out. Thumb comes up towards the wrist, and then out breath, the hand comes all the way down. So I get a quarter turn in the armpit as I do this. Try and make sure that that's movement of the hand is coming from your armpit, not just your hand. As they come up and stretch, top leg really reaches away. Good. So I'm going to take the cushion away and come into my assisted sit-ups. So in breath over, out breath. Let the ball help you. Rest here, or come into the next sequence, half lizard, and out breath, in breath, reach, out breath, and in breath, reach. And good. So from that sequence, I'm now coming into my second sequence of extension. So again, going to use the ball underneath the thoracic rib cage. I'm going to go back to the diamond floats, hands cross over and straight away on the out breath, curling up, in breath down. So I'm going to look for more range now. I'm going to take my hands roughly underneath the shoulders. The elbows are pointing backwards and towards the ceiling slightly. Now, as I breathe out, my shoulders and elbows roll backwards. I push the ball forwards. That brings me up with more height. In breath, back down. Maybe the head touches the mat. Out breath, roll the elbows and shoulders backwards. Push the breastbone forwards. Find length and height. So I'm using the ball to give me thoracic extension, to give me my backwards arching of the body. Go what feels right for you. I'm not really using the hands to push, I'm just letting the hands stay there. And it's the ball that gives me support and movement. So these are the Sphinx style movement. Now on the next one, I'm going to curl up, I'm going to stay there. I'm going to add a bit of rotations. I'm going to look to one side, look to the other. But let those shoulder blades move around you. Let the shoulder blades be sort of lizardy. So there's movement to allow you to get that movement. And again, I'm using the hands very lightly just to help get a little bit of movement. So some thoracic rotation in extension. Now from here, I'm going to press up onto my hands and knees. I'm going to take a breath in. As I breathe out, roll the shoulders back, press up through the arms. Now I'm coming into moving cat all the way. But do imagine the ball still underneath you. So in moving cat, my knees are roughly underneath my hips. I'm trying to think that my sizing of my trousers is nice and vertical. I'm going to have my hands directly underneath the shoulders. They're probably going to be a little bit wider than my knees. As I breathe out, round the back, curl up into your cat. Now sit your hips down, take extra breaths if you need to. Elbows go down, maybe a little bit wider. Now roll your shoulders and elbows backwards to bring your nose forwards. Breathing in, lifting up. As you breathe out, scoop your tummy in to help you sit back. Imagine the ball's underneath your chest. Push the ball forward to your thumbs. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, scoop and round down into us. This is our moving cat. A nice way to finish a movement pattern for the spine as we work into flexion. And then as we come forward, we're working through into our extension. Not excessive, but it's just nice. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. As you bring the nose forward, feel the elbows pull back to give you length in the neck. This is going to be my last one, coming up, just rounding, sitting down, coming through and up. So that's my sequence with the wonderful OverBall. This is the one I get from Amazon. you can get it from other places as well, but it's the gymnic ball. I do like the OverBall gymnic. Other people like different ones. This is the one I'm just used to teaching, so I just like the gymnic ball. I hope you enjoyed that series. Hope you feel lots of movement in the body. Breath is better, and do enjoy your workouts.